Aloha. Okay. Hold on, let me see if I can pull my phone up. Because people always message me when I'm doing these videos, and I could never see it until afterwards. So I think someone told me I need to actually pull my YouTube up from my phone. So let me see. How do I do it? Okay, like that. How do I do it? Well, we'll just see if that works. Okay, so what I'm doing now is, this was a big part on my journey. And this was the universal laws. Now, when I was in religion, I was fasting with water. And every time I would start with the universal laws, like it wouldn't even take 24 hours. And I would just start coming across all this stuff. And I ended up sending all this stuff to my kids in group chats. And then, you know, when you're in religion, you don't even want to mess with that stuff. So I deleted it all out. But my daughter saved all the messages so I could pull them back up. And I ended up seeing them and going through them. And this is after the 8th day circumcision and after I got through religion. So anyway, the law I want to talk about, and the only reason I'm talking about this is because I had this big old notebook and I started trying to rearrange some things. And this whole thing of pages just fell out. And I was like, what the heck is this? And it was my handwritten notes of the laws of prosperity. And I don't know why I chose this law, but this is the law. I was watching some lady talk about it. She wrote a book and was doing all these things. Well, find out, fast forward now to today. Well, yesterday I had got this book probably about a month ago. Ouch. At the library. And the lady who wrote this book is the exact lady in 1956. This was really popular with her. And then is the exact lady who I was talking about. Because on all my papers, I put reference CP, and that's Catherine Ponder. So this book I've had this whole time while I had it in my daughter's room. I didn't even freaking put 2 and 2 together to know this was the same person. Till all of a sudden, maybe 2 or 3 days ago, these papers just fell out of nowhere and they were by my chair when I went in my room. And this stuff was in a binder. So I said, well, I guess I'll talk about the laws of prosperity. So anyway, if you're not familiar with all the universal spiritual laws, I'll say them for you. My classes are broke, so it's really fun around here. So there's the law of one, the law of grace, the law of faith, the law of decree, the law of blessings, the law of perspective, the law of gratitude, the law of healing, the law of purification, the law of miracles, the law of frequency or vibration, the law of challenge, the law of meditation, the law of prayer, the law of affirmation, the law of discrimination, the law of responsibility, the law of reincarnation, the law of karma, the law of higher awareness, the law of balance and polarity, the law of success, the law of manifestation, the law of prosperity, the law of intention, the law of clarity, the law of abundance. So not only is it all these laws, just the law that I went over, remember, Catherine Ponder, who I didn't even know I had the freaking book I got for 10 cents at the library probably a month ago. But I did this probably before that, because we did this on New Year's Eve. And we wrote down all this stuff, and then we decluttered everything and just gave away everything. And that was New Year's Eve. So this has been a while. So the law we're going to work on today is the law of prosperity. Just in the law of prosperity, there's the mental laws, the cleansing laws, the emotional laws, the creative laws, the advanced laws, the spiritual laws, the psychological laws, and there's another, but we won't talk about because I didn't write it down. But those are just under the laws of the law of prosperity, just of one law. So I wrote up all these notes. I might go through some of those, and then I typed up all these notes and I gave it to my children, and they have like their own personal folders with their destiny numbers, soul urge, life path, their birth charts, their human design charts, just stuff that I felt was important that most parents don't even, instead of just having birth certificates and social security cards aside, my kids have like a whole care package. So anyway, so it says, I don't even know if this is in the right order. So let me just go start from the book, because I started reading this last night because I've never even read this book. The stuff I was watching, I watched like on her video. So let's see where I'll start. So the introduction starts with, there's gold dust in the air for you. This book is the result of several recent recessions and many years of lean living. Nobody likes recessions and nobody likes lean living, and indeed nobody should like them. For 15 years, I've tried to find such a book as this one. During those years of searching the bookshelves, I found that there are many books which give various success ideas, but in none of them did I find a set of compact, simple laws for assuring success. I began searching for a book such as this after having been widowed and left with a small son to rear and educate. Since I had no training for work and no means of income, I would have given anything to have known then about the power of prosperous thinking. For a while, I experienced depression, ill health, loneliness, financial lacking, and a sense of complete failure. It seemed that the whole world was against me. So anyway, then she goes on to the birth of prosperous thinking. She gives examples. She talks about the law of prosperity itself, how the laws have worked for others. She just gives examples. This book is really good though. And as long as you just keep reading it, you're going to keep reprogramming your subconscious anyway. The whole outlook, the shocking truth about prosperity, why some people feel like it's sinful to be prosperous, which is definitely not the case. You should desire prosperity. Poverty is a sin, which is true, because how can you be a blessing to others if you're struggling? Poverty is a form of hell caused by man's blindness to God's unlimited good for him. Poverty is a dirty, uncomfortable, degrading experience. Poverty is actual form of disease in its acute phases. It seems to be a form of insanity. Poverty fills prisons with thieves and murderers. It drives men and women to drink, prostitution, drug addiction, suicide. It drives potentially fine, talented, intelligent children to delinquency and crime. Continue. Prosperity is your divine heritage. Success is divinely ordained. The Bible is a prosperity textbook. Why poverty is not spiritual. Right attitudes will pay your bills. So it gives examples on just changing your mindset or saying little affirmations to yourself, as in, be still and know that I am God. Be still and know that I am God at work in this situation now. Just meditate on that, she's saying. Or you can say, the Lord is my shepherd, I shall not want. Our sufficiency is from God. Give me this day my daily bread. God as the source of all riches. Just goes around that. The link between thought and supply. I stir up the gifts of God within me and around me, and I am blessed on every hand with happiness, success, and true achievement. I am the rich child of a loving Father. I now accept and claim his rich good for me in every phase of my life. My own God-given success in the form of rich ideas and rich results now appears. It's all about how you talk and how you reprogram your subconscious mind. Kind of like what I always kind of refer back to. Stop focusing on the one thing you don't like and focus on all the 1,001 other things that are working right in your body. I learned about the power of our thinking as an instrument. Okay. I learned about the power of our thinking as an instrument for success or failure. You cannot get something for nothing. Okay, so that's basically my whole thing. Emerson, if you ever hear me or talk to me in person, you know that I always say, like attracts like. Emerson said that. That's Emerson's whole concept, was like attracts like. So this goes on to kind of tell about it. So let's see what it says. You cannot get something for nothing. I agree with Emerson that it is time the law of compensation was emphasized as life's basic law. I like to think of this basic law of prosperity as radiation and attraction. that what you radiate outward in your thoughts, feelings, mental pictures, and words, you attract into your life and affair. But you cannot get something for nothing. The reason why there is still poverty in this universe of lavish abundance is that many people still do not understand this basic law of life. They do not yet realize that they must radiate in order to attract, and that what they do radiate, they constantly attract. That can be for the good or for the bad. You have to remember that, though, because the universe doesn't know yes or no. The universe just knows vibrations. So anyway, most people today still have to learn that they cannot get something for nothing, but must give before receiving, or must sow before reaping. Nothing how the church teaches you. This is something completely different. When they do not give or sow in terms of prosperity, they make no contact with God's lavish abundance, and there is no channel formed through which the rich, unlimited substance of the universe can pour forth its riches to them. The truth of this was recently brought to my attention when I had contact with some people in a poverty-stricken area. I soon discovered that these people only wanted a handout. They were not interested in invoking. There's a difference from invoking and evoking. You need to know that to start off. They were not interested in invoking the basic law of prosperity by giving or sowing first. Instead, they were trying to get something for nothing, which simply cannot be done. Thus, they continued to live in poverty. You can always give something. Perhaps you are thinking, what can such a person give when he seems in so lack? When he seems so in lack? There is always something that a person can give, either tangible or intangible, that will put him in touch with God's rich supply. A widow with a house full of children once telephoned a counselor. She had no money or food for her children. It was lunchtime and her children had not eaten since the day before. She was desperate. The counselor who took the call knew well what it was like to find oneself in such a predicament. The power of prosperous thinking had literally supplied manna from heaven at a financially desperate period in her own life. With great compassion, she explained the magic power of giving in some way, which would start the substance flowing back in appropriate form. Of course, when she explained this, the widow must give in order to receive. The widow's first reaction was much the same that yours or mine might be the first time we were told we must give to receive. She laminated, but that's just it. I have nothing to give. To which the counselor gently replied, my dear, of course you have something to give. We always have something to give. Indeed, we always have more to give than we at first realized. She then urged this frantic widow to look about her and to ask for divine guidance concerning what she could give. The widow was assured that this counselor would be praying with her in faith. So the widow sat down and prayerfully asked what she had that she could give. Suddenly, she remembered flowers growing in her yard, which she happily cut and gave to a sick neighbor who was overjoyed to receive them. Next, she set her table with the best china, silver, and linens in the house. This caused pleasure and excitement among her children, who then expectantly awaited a good meal. Just as she was completing her grocery list, someone who had been owing her money for a long time dropped by and paid her $30 on her debt. $30 which she had long since ever given up getting back. So radiate and you will attract. Mental preparation comes first. You are magnetic. Each of us is a magnet. And as a magnet, you do not have to force success and prosperity to yourself. Instead, you can develop this exalted, expected, prosperous state of mind that is a magnet for all good things in the universe to hasten to you, rather than entertaining the tense, critical, anxious, depressed, unforgiving, possessive state of mind that is a magnet for all kinds of trouble and failure. Be deliberate about wealth. You are filled with pent-up substance, energy, and divine ability, which wishes to work for us, through us, and around us. Okay, this was interesting. Psychologists declare that the average person uses only his mind power. Medical authorities claim that the average person uses only about 25% of his physical power. Psychologists further state that man can release more result-getting power in 1 hour of concentrated use of his mind than in 24 hours of physical work. Some psychologists even believe that man can release more result-getting power through 1 hour of concentrated thought than through a month of physical work. So this is what you could say. I am an irresistible magnet with the power to attract into myself everything that I divinely desire, according to the thoughts, feelings, and mental pictures I constantly entertain and radiate. I am the center of my universe. I have the power to create whatever I wish. I attract whatever I radiate. I attract whatever I mentally choose and accept. I began choosing and mentally accepting the highest and best in life. I now choose and accept health, success, and happiness. I now choose lavish abundance for myself and for all mankind. This is a rich, friendly universe, and I dare to accept its riches, its hospitality, and to enjoy them now. Okay. I would have ended up reading you the whole book. Oh, there was one other thing that I read that was interesting. Before we do anything, all we need to do is include source. I don't really do too much without pulling a tarot card, because to me, that's divination. Even though I just found out a whole bunch of stuff about that with Arthur Edward Waite and Aleister Crowley, so we won't get on that. But you always just don't forget where everything comes. Everything is coming from source. So if we just use those simple, why isn't my live chat thing working? As long as we use those simple reminders, which I'll give you one before I show you what I typed up and give it to my kids. And I did this daily for a long time. And things were happening that were magical. And you can also say, this is good. I just wrote this down. I don't know where I saw this. But I wrote this for my daughter. If I can find it, because it's in my tarot notebook. And I have so much extra stuff. Okay, here it is. Ministry of Angels. Because, I always result everything back to angels, because our angels are constantly around us wanting to do, because we're made in the image of God. I hate to use the word God, but you know what I mean. And just for communication, I'll say God. But to me, it's divine source. So we're made in the image of God, and angels serve God. They're not egotistical or anything. That's just what they want to do constantly, is serve God. So let's see. Okay. So you can say, Ministry of Angels, thank you for overseeing all that I do and make it easy, magical, and filled with gifts. I give you the freedom to work on my behalf at all times. Thanks for staying on permanent assignment. That's all you have to say. So anyway, so let's just see what I wrote out for the laws of prosperity. My money hand's itching, so hello. I really was not going to go over this, because literally this is my own personal stuff, which I just couldn't even believe. But just how I didn't even know I even had these still handwritten notes. And just how this stuff just popped out and was just sitting on the floor by my chair. I was like, what the freak? So anyway, hold on, let me fix this where it falls out, which is going to fall out anyway. Okay. So if you want to print stuff out, it would be like this. The law of attraction. You see, I have all the laws. And you can just take one out and study it. The laws like this. So, and you can get that from, who did I follow? Joanne at Universal Spiritual Laws. Why is this staticking? Now it's like tapping. I don't know what's going on here. Do you hear that? So anyway, you can follow Joanne. But it's been weird all day. Like, my hearing went out in my left ear, and I heard it switch to my right ear when I was watching the Truth and Stories live chat. Everybody can live chat but me. So back to the law of prosperity. Some things I did for my children and myself. And then what we did was, okay, I'm going to unplug this. Can you hear me? We'll just see if this works, because that other stuff is not going to work for me. So I did this on December 29th. I open my mind to prosperity. I dare to prosper. I'm a child of the universe. I am a child of fortune. These are all things that you would just say to yourself, or you could just read through, because we're reprogramming our subconscious mind. I'm a child of the universe. I am a child of fortune. My financial income cannot be limited. The rich and substance of the universe now frees me from all financial limitations. I dissolve in my own mind and in the mind of others any idea that my own can be withheld from me. No person, thing, or event can keep that from me which the universe has for me now. I now let go of worn out things, worn out conditions, and worn out relationships. Divine order is now established and maintained in me and in my world. Fast improvements come quickly. In every phase of my life now, every day, in every way, things are getting better and better for me. And then I went into the cleansing law. And the cleansing law of prosperity, get rid of what you don't want to make room for what you do want. And it doesn't mean just throwing out the trash and the broken stuff. I got rid of stuff I do want. I got rid of all my bags except for like 2. This is what you have to do. So anyway, your good does not flow easily into cluttered, crowded situations, which is just common sense anyway. Your good does not flow easily into cluttered, crowded state of mind or emotion. So we must form a vacuum. In most inner and outer ways, we become magnetic to our good. This makes a believer of your subconscious as you do this. You begin to get excited. There has to be a release of the old to make way for the new, which I tell my kids all the day. If you're holding a $100 bill like this and you're holding it as tight as you can, how is anything supposed to flow to and through? You can't. You have to spend and give and spend and give and spend and get. So that's just not going to work, is it? Most of this is just common sense. But I had to type it out and reread this. And then I had to even ask myself, like, how are you so lazy even to read something like this? So anyway, so it says, there has to be a release of the old to make way for the new. I still can't see. I don't understand how I can't see when people text. And then it's so delayed. I just don't get this. Our universal good will hold development until order is established in the present situation. Get things in divine order. We need to open channels to bring it to us, and order does that. I am in divine order. I am in sublime order now. These are all things you're just saying to yourself, tricking your subconscious mind. I am rich, well, and happy in every phase of my life is divine order now. Write what you want eliminated out of your life. This is what we did for New Year's. I had my children write everything that they wanted to eliminate about themselves or situations or anything like that they didn't, or that I didn't either. And then New Year's Eve, we went and we burn it to ashes and then buried it in the sand. So, and we also did the whole, I might even wrote that on here. I let go and trust. As long as you put off the elimination process, you put off results. Every advance means to eliminate something old. Vacuum opens way for the new. Release, loose, let go of things that don't benefit your higher good. Possessions, relationships, etc., etc. Then you declare, because you're always declaring. And to me, you could probably think it and get it across, but at least say it under your breath or just say it. I just always feel like when you actually speak the words or write stuff down, I can remember stuff so much easier when I actually take time to write my own stuff. That's why I made my binder for tarot. Emotional cleanse, practicing forgiveness. Forgiveness is a private affair. Leave you at peace. Forgive daily. Okay, so this is what I did for my children when we did the whole releasing on New Year's, which I think you have to do more than just once a year, but I did it for New Year's. So this is what it says. It says, all that has offended me, I now forgive, within and without. I forgive things past. I forgive things present. I forgive everything and everybody who can possibly need forgiveness of the past or present. I forgive positively everyone. I am free, and they are free too. All things are cleared up between us now and forever. Then you make a forgiveness list people, situations, experiences, then declare, or to me, speak. I fully and freely forgive. I loose and let you go quickly and in peace. All things are cleared up between us now and forever. Then write out a list of who you want to forgive you, people, situations, and experiences. Then declare, I fully and freely forgive me. Loose me and let me go to my good. Quickly and in peace, all things are cleared up between us now and forever. to forgiveness for self and for someone else. That was game changer to me, because who would even have thought that? And then subconsciously, even if you know that somebody wouldn't ever really forgive you, subconsciously, you just putting that out there, you're going to be forgiven anyway. So it's a win-win. So spend an hour mentally forgiving everyone you're out of harmony with or are concerned about. Subconsciously, they will respond. If you have refused yourself for your failures or mistakes, forgive yourself too. I can't believe I even wrote all this stuff out and typed this stuff up. I really can't believe I got the freaking book. This is the horse. This is, what is it? This is the word straight from the horse's mouth. This is her. I just couldn't even believe that. I was sitting here last night and I was like, is that the same lady? And I had to go through all these papers, and it was. Okay. So then after you do that process, you release them from your thoughts entirely. A good life requires a lot of forgiveness. Clear your own thoughts and feelings, and situations will respond. Call specific names. Right. When you want their forgiveness, then declare. Forgive people you hate. Release the people you love. And that was hard for me. Releasing my children, my older children, because I would never want to hinder them on their path. So you have to release people even that you love. You have to cut cords, not just the toxic relationships, but to people you love. That was really hard for me, but I did it. Release people you hate. Release the people you love. We must loose our loved ones and let them go to their good, because strong emotional ties can block our good. We will never lose anything that belongs to us. Don't let people possess or dominate you. All types of problems receive freedom. I fully and freely release. I let go and let trust. And then, look at this stuff. I just type in all different, seriously. This is what my kids all have copies of. Speak release to situations or problems you haven't been able to solve. Any problem, speak words of release. I'll release the situation to its perfect outworking. Now, I loose it and let it go. So it says, open your mind to prosperity, cleansing, emotional laws of prosperity. So that's where we're at now. So let's see. So it says, open your mind to prosperity. Then I put in parentheses, psychological side. And then I said, must come first. So I guess it says cleansing emotional laws of prosperity. So I think this is the first thing you have to do. I don't know. You can look this stuff up. I just didn't even know it was all these different avenues of prosperity. You have the law of prosperity, which is the universal spiritual law. Then in that law, you also have mental laws, cleansing laws, emotional laws, creative laws, advanced laws, spiritual laws, psychological laws. This is the whole process, seriously. So let's see. So for the creative laws, mentally first, create. Do I have a chat? This is too funny. So it says, creative laws, mentally first, create prosperity mentally, which of course, that's why I put that. So creative laws is what comes first before you write out everything that you want to release. You have to create prosperity mentally first. Writing. When you begin to think about writing out what you want, you are beginning to get definite about prosperity, so that prosperity can get definite about you. Man is a mental being and lives from the inside out through his mind. Remind yourself we are mental beings. Mental preparation is very necessary, and we must get definite about prosperity mentally. Declare, I am a child of the universe. I am a child of fortune, and because of this, I have a right to claim this heritage of unlimited abundance. You will see it physically and in abundance, invisibly by ideals and opportunities. It's up to us to shape them and form them through our definite thinking. Realize, as a child of the universe and a child of this fortune, we are masters of this universe, but it is up to us to claim this mastery. Gosh, I need to reread my own stuff. We can claim mastery and take control of this lavish universe that is already here, and that which is around us as ideas and opportunities, by getting deliberate with our thoughts, words, and actions. As we turn the great energy of our thinking upon ideas of plenty, we will have plenty regardless of what people around us are doing or saying. And then you can declare or speak, I turn the great energy of my thinking upon ideas of plenty. I dissolve in my own mind and in the mind of all others any idea that my own can be withheld from me. No person, thing, or event can keep that thing from me that the universe has for me now. Through writing, speaking, prosperous words, and pictures, write out what you want to manifest or experience it in your life. And that would probably go to, what are those things people make that I probably should have been made? Not crystal grids. Vision boards. And that just makes so much sense. If it's in a space that you're going to keep walking past and you just, whatever you're thinking or what it looks like, you can just always see your vision board. That just makes complete sense. So I guess I should have probably did that. This is August. I think I should have had that done. So I turn the great energy of my thinking upon ideas of plenty. Get definite. Don't drift along. If you do, you become the helpless victim of the circumstances. If your desires are not clear or definite, you can become subject to the dominating personalities of people around you. And that happens with life, period. If you're not definite on what you do and I walk in a room, my energy is going to just absorb your energy if you're a drifter. Not by choice. I just have a big aura. So if you're not using your energy, I'll absorb it. But you have to think when you're walking on the street, there's people that don't have good intentions that absorb energy too, intentionally. So you need to put your own energy stuff up, and that just takes 2 seconds, and it's called grounding. So there's things that we need to do, because what are we? We're energy beings. What are atoms? Atoms are energy. Atoms aren't material. Atoms are energy. So we're spiritual energy beings. Like, seriously, ask your kids, do they know how many minerals they're made up of? Or show them a picture of actually what it looks like when you swallow and all the processes that go. Show an adult. An adult probably doesn't even know. Like, anyway, prosperity. I'm just showing you what works for me. And these are the laws. I just took time to break down all the laws in the law. And as you know, there's like how many universal laws? 30 something, maybe 33 or 34. And then in each law, there's how many? 8 or 9. So this is just a cheat sheet for you. And I didn't even know I had this stuff still wrote down. So get definite. Don't drift along. If you do, you will become the helpless victim of circumstances. If your desires are not clear and definite, you can become subject to the dominating personalities of people around you. You become subject to the stronger minds around you and what they are thinking about. The way to overcome this, and I'll give you the answers. I can't believe I even did all this stuff. The way to overcome this and difficulties is to set a goal, write it down, get definite. So obviously getting definite is a big key here, huh? Write specifically. Just like with tarot. You can't just ask a general question. You can, but then you're going to just get a general answer. You can't go to a free dating site and expect a quality of anything. You might luck up and catch something because like attracts like, but you get what you pay for. Mentally, physically, emotionally, not with just this fake fiat dollar. I'm talking about you get what you pay for in life, period. You get out what you give in. If you do not know what you want, you have no set purpose. Your subconscious mind just produces a lot of circumstances. We should concentrate or think about a thing long enough, and as we do, we are sure to get it. Never let yourself drift. That's a good one. The word desire in its root means of the Father. In other words, any deep settled desire you have is a design desire. It is a universal desire for greater good. So write down all desires, and the deep-seated desires will remain with you until they manifest. Open your mind to receive it. Now, see, that's the thing. Like where I'm at and where I vibrate at now, even when I try to meditating to me used to just be taking a walk. But now I always ask that my children and I remain receptive so we can actually comprehend all the messages we're getting from the universe. But now there could be such a thing as too receptive. So now even when I just walk to a nature trail or anywhere I go, I see 1,000 cardinals, a peacock will cross my path, a dragonfly circles my daughter 3 times and then lands. Like, we see all this stuff now. which is a good thing. I'm definitely not complaining, but I'm just saying. But anyway, being in the receiving mode and being receptive is a big part of why a lot of people miss a lot of stuff, because you're getting signs all day long. But are you receptive is the question. So, declare, I open my mind to prosperity, I dare prosper. Remember, choices produce results. We use choices at all times, deliberate choices to do something better, or choice through choosing nothing. Did you hear that? Choices produce results. We use choices at all times, whether we use deliberate choices to do something better or choice through choosing nothing. If you do nothing, that's still a choice. Therefore, getting all kinds of confusion and lack and limitations in our lives. Your mind constantly produces what you choose. That's the power of writing out what you want. Your definite written words dissolve all obstacles and barriers on the visible and invisible planes of life. Who is this lady giving you guys this information? I'm summing up the dynamic laws of prosperity. Your written words go out into the ethers of the universe to work through people, circumstances, and events to open the way for your desired good to come to you pass. It's incredible. Write any and everything on a daily list, as well be specific. And then declare, choices produce results. I am a child of the universe. I am a child of fortune. I am wealthy in an easy way, a quiet way. Creative prosperity, mentally first. Okay, so it says create prosperity mentally first, which we just talked about. 98% mental preparation and 2% outer action, which is kind of like what I read in that book when the psychologist says we only use 10% of our brains, but we could do more in an hour or whatever it said than 24 hours of physical work. Sometimes we're tested. Sometimes the good we desire in life seems to come to people around us first. Now, if we can praise and give thanks to someone else's good rather than being envious and jealous and critical, then we can be assured that those same blessings or even greater ones are on its way to us. But if we make unkind remarks or hostile towards or envious of other people's good, then we failed the test, and we can stop our own good from getting through to us. This says, love envious not. This is like a declaration. Love envious not, the prospering truth has set me free to prosper. Love envious not, the prospering truth has set you free to prosper. As you view the blessings and the good things that happen to other people, remind yourself that the longer your good is in coming, the greater it will be when it comes. So why envy anyone else and their good? Their good wouldn't suit you or satisfy you anyways. That's a game changer. Know that any good things that you hear about happening to someone else is a good indication that it is getting pretty close to you, or you wouldn't have even heard about it. It's a good one. Your good is on the way. Don't stop. Remember, love envious not, the prospering truth has set you free to prosper. Now you're going to make your list. That's just getting through the creative, the mental. Now you're going to make your list. Let me put my glasses on. Think about what you really want, not what somebody else wants you to have. List anything, personal, travel, income, anything. The mind of man must look outward as well as inward for balance. The mind is one blending area of thoughts and feelings, and you must balance the inner with the outer. That is why we are all here in a physical form. You already have all your own answers. Dare to do the simple things that lead to prosperity. Make your list. Dare to please only yourself. Keep your list private. The very act of list making clears your mind and clears your life. It resolves things for you. Wake up 30 minutes early and write out a list you want to accomplish just for that day. Then declare, I have plenty to share and spare. Get definite about your words. My words are charged with prospering power. Don't expect general success statements to produce a definite, specific result for your success. The spoken word of prosperity can speed up results up to 80%. Spoken word. Speak forth prosperous words every day. Speak success words and success statements. Like, I am abundance, I am accomplishment, I am advantage, I am arrival, I am expansion, I am fortune, I am prosperousness, I am successful, I am thriving, I am grateful. And then I kind of went overboard because you can see how many I did. And that's not even it. There's a page 2. Oh my gosh, I cracked myself up. Okay. So what was that last part? Okay. Now, we're going to I kind of tied in feng shui a little bit into this because I was doing feng shui at this time. So color is important. So let's just say happiness and love, we would use pink, like a pink cardboard if that's what you were trying to create for your prosperity. If you wanted creativity, you could use white. Prosperity and wealth, you would use purple, like purple pictures or purple construction paper. So color is important. You can look into feng shui. Around your living area, plants with round leaves are good if they bear fruit, even better. Purple vase, put money in it daily, even coins. Use a gold frame only for pictures of your family. Always keep your stove clean. Spick and span clean, not just wiped down. Never put family pictures on a mantle over a fireplace or pictures of anyone that is deceased. Good chi, which is energy. Flow, no clutter. So on the right side of the front door, put a silver metal water fountain. When you make your visual board or your treasure map, don't clutter it. Remember the vision board I was speaking of? Make several boards if need be. Always place a spiritual symbol, saying, or picture on it. Give success map, visual board, spiritual protection. Put your board where you see it several times a day. Break it down into several categories. I now hasten my good by picturing it. That's a declaration, you could say. Advanced laws are those laws that hasten results, known as giving is receiving. My giving makes me rich. Only if you give in a certain way. If you don't give, you block channels of flow. Constant giving makes way to constantly receiving. Balance active receiving in good and happy way. So the universal law, given it shall be given unto you, works whether you want it to or not. Give freely, because if you don't give voluntarily, you can expect all sorts of problems. You cannot cheat basic laws of the universe. All you're going to do is cheat yourself of health, wealth, and happiness by trying to bypass it. Ancient people thought 10 was the magic number of increase. Okay, so even in the book, she talks about, we might see sometimes in life somebody that just keeps excelling, and you're like, how in the hell? This person isn't even a good person. I'm eating right. I'm doing this right. I'm trying to do that right. And this person's flicking everybody off and partying and drinking and smoking and eating pork or doing whatever. But guess what? It's not what we see. Yet they might prosper for a time, but what's the outcome going to be? It's going to be a burn and fizzle, because if you don't have a good foundation, period, whoever you are, if you don't have a foundation, you cannot build your house on sand, period. There's universal laws. All these grids and ley lines is holding energy in. It's a whole big thing. Read the 5th interview by Dr. Jameson Nervato by Wingmaker. He wrote it in 1998 and didn't release it for 14 years, but it just makes so much sense. You already know, I know there's 2 deities in the old Bible, in the Old Testament, I mean. So you have to understand the difference from the sacrifice, the this, the that, the one we worship, the one the Bible talks about, that's God, to the all-merciful divine source, universal Father. It's a big difference. That's your own journey. I'm just telling you what I did on my journey, and I wrote out all this stuff. So really all I'm doing is giving you cliff notes on what I did for the laws of prosperity and broke it down, because remember, just in the law of prosperity, it's the mental laws, the cleansing laws, the emotional laws, the creative laws, the advanced laws, the spiritual laws, and the psychological laws. That's just under the umbrella of law of prosperity. So I'm just kind of walking you through cliff notes of what we did back in December. That's why I can, well, we're not going to get on that because I do not want anyone to think I'm bragging, because it's none of me. It's all the source. But you have to think. You have to put in time with this stuff. You have to literally put in time. I don't do anything on Friday night. I'm making videos. I'm talking to showing my orthocesis. Like, a lot of stuff is out of my life. Some stuff you can still try to hold on to, but it's like dragging your heels with two horses pulling a cart. You're just wasting your time and everything else around you. So I'm just trying to help you go with the flow. So anyway, so where are we at? We're almost done. You have to balance the act of receiving it in good and in a happy way. You know the universal law, given it shall be given unto you, works whether you want it to or not. So a declaration or something you could say is, fast improvements come quickly. In every phase of my life now, every day, in every way, things are getting better for me now. Tithe all channels of income. That's a prosperity law. Not tithe to your church. Even if that's what you do and that makes you happy, just stay in that happy spot. But that's not the tithing I'm talking about. Give 1/10 of income back to the universe. When you constantly give, you constantly receive. Share your substance with the universe. And then another declaration would say, I no longer strain or strive, I tithe and thrive. So when I'm saying give to the universe, that's as simple as open the door for somebody. Smile at somebody and say hello. If you see somebody carrying something heavy, you can just offer to help. These are tithing back to the universe. Remember what I just read you in the first 10 pages? The lady who didn't have anything to feed her kids. But we always have something we can give to somebody. And what did she do? She cut flowers in her backyard and gave it to somebody else up the street who was sick and made that person happy. And then in that way, she was blessed, because you always have to have flowing channels. Anyway, this is just the cliff notes of the law of prosperity. And it was none of me that I wanted to talk about. This is just what I do. And there's more that I feel like people probably aren't even watching anyway. So be careful of your casual words. And definitely be careful of your casual conversation. The people who prosper the most say the least. You can talk away your good. Whatever a person voices, it begins to attract to him. That's what I'm trying to tell people. Like in one of my groups, she's like, oh, da 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 da, but he gets on my nerves. So we'll do the. I don't know if people are familiar with the Ho'oponopono, but if you're familiar with the Ho'oponopono, it's kind of like that. And then you get to a good spot, but say my son drives and he was getting on my nerves and he would follow too close or he would do this. So I would have to tell him every day, Dare, stop following too close. Dare, da da da. I just stopped. After I did this, I just stopped. I said, you know what? And when I stopped, that didn't mean I stopped completely, because I feel like if I'm the one responsible, if there's a ticket or anything and it's on my dime, then I can say or feel what I want, because you're still, even though you're a young adult, you're still a child. And so you pay for all your own shit and buy your toilet paper and do your own thing. So anyway, yeah, let's just not do that. So divine bounty now. I praise you as the perfect creation of divine bounty now. There are things getting better. Things are getting better for us financially and our income will continue to, what does it say? Increase. And then just say thank you for always. Thank you, thank you, thank you. It's the best thing you could do. More fun, more freedom, more finances. So anyway, that was just a touch on just the law of prosperity. And it gets intense, I would say, but we only live once. Well, this incarnation. So you can just wean out and do what's important to you. And if you're thinking that the fiat dollar is what's important to you and that's what you're judging stuff on still, go check out the value of the ruby or the value of the yen and text me back and tell me what you find out about that. you have to look at all these executive orders that are already passed, just sitting and marinating. There's many of them. So we're not going to want to keep basing everything on the fiat dollar. We walk up and down streets, we don't know any of the trees or the bushes, or we walk on grass, we don't even know what kind of grass we're walking on. We don't know anything. So we need to change all that. And this is just one of the many laws. I'll probably do more of them, but this is the one that popped out, and I got a whole book of them. So if Source wants me to go through more laws, then I'll go through more laws, because I don't even know how the heck this even came out, where it was at anywhere, because I was all the way somewhere else on the Shemporish Angels and 72 Demons of Goetia. Go figure. We'll talk about that later. So anyway, this was the Laws of Prosperity. And the book who I really got all this stuff from, I mean, not the book, but the video and the sources I got all this stuff from in December. And then I was blessed with the book about a month ago from the library for 10 cents is The Dynamic Laws of Prosperity. And it's by Catherine Ponder. So anyway, I'm gone for now, not forever.